What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's your boy C1, Man Cave Podcast. I want to share a quick story with y'all for the day. This is about how my brother Devil met his best friend. Shit crazy. So, through most of my childhood, I always had a ton of family in the Carmelitos. To the point that I can go over there and spend a whole summer over there and just go from house to house. So I can go to one grandmother's house, she get tired of me. I go to the other grandmother's house, she get tired of me. I go to the auntie house, she get tired of me. Go to my uncle's house maybe for a day or two, and then I repeat the cycle. I'm going back through there. So I'm doing my cycle from going from house to house, just chilling over there for as long as I could before I go back home. And whenever I would go over there and spend a night, whenever my moms would drop me off, I would always get a few dollars from her. So this time I'm like asking for a few dollars, and mom's like didn't have it or didn't want to give it to me, whatever it was. So I'm like pissed off. She done told me no. So I'm over here still like whatever. Instead of just being smart and probably asking my brother or asking my uncle, I'm just pissed off. I'm so pissed off to the point that I'm crying. I got tears in my eyes. And there's this kid looking at me and he laughing. And he about 3 years older than me. And growing up, I was real short, and I had a short man complex. I'm now 6'2", but if you'd have told me then that I was gonna be 6 foot tall, I'd have called you a lion. When I started high school, I was 5'3", so I never thought I was gonna be no taller than 5'7", 5'8". So at this time, I'm maybe 9, 10, 11 years old. So I gotta be maybe 4 feet at the best. I'm a short dude. So he laughing at me. And he laughing, I'm pissed off. Like, what? Like, who is this dude? And I tell him, go in his face. You keep laughing, I'm gonna fire on you. He laugh even harder. And I get off on him. I'm not saying this shit hurt him, because I'm pretty sure this was like probably hitting him with a pillow or something. But I get off on him about 5-6 times with everything I got. And just like, some quick shit. And then my brother seeing what the fuck going on, see what I'm doing. He tell him, you better not hit him back. Now that he done told him this, I was going to give me another one in. Yeah! Dude sitting there pissed the fuck off like. So fast forward about 3 months from then, I'm over there, I'm at my grandmother's house, knock on the door, this dude at the door. And he got a golf club and shit. So I'm like, oh shit. It's the same dude. This motherfucker coming over here to fuck us up. But he asked for my brother. So I'm like, what? So my brother go outside with him, they talking and shit, so I go out there too. And he introduces, like, this is the homeboy Tricky. It's the homeboy Tricky from Palm and Oak. He now rest in peace to Tricky. So now they hanging out. Like, oh shit. So now I get to start hanging out with him when I'm around my brother. So they get tight. I'm talking about tight. They done caught cases, done went to camp together, car accident, fucked themselves up, not wearing seatbelts and shit. Probably all before the age of 14. Well, these two, they thick as thieves. You didn't see one without the other for a very long time. Fast forward, some years pass. A whole lot of years pass. To one day, probably like 2012, I'm living in Las Vegas. When this story started, it's probably like 90, 91 or something like that. I'm living in Las Vegas 2012. I'm in Smith's grocery store. If you live in California, Smith's is like Ralph's. If you in Texas, it's like HEB. If you in Georgia, maybe Kroger, something like that. I can't remember the other one that's in Georgia. So I'm in there early in the morning, like 6 in the morning. Reason I go over 6 in the morning is I'm gonna go to self-checkout. I'm gonna pay for some paper towels. I'm probably gonna have $100 worth of meat in his basket. That's a whole nother story. But I'm in the store and I'm getting my little stuff, getting some big ribeye steaks and stuff, some ribs and stuff. And this nigga just staring at me. So first I'm like, maybe he looking at something behind me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna really pay it too much mind. I'm gonna just keep it pushing. So I'm somewhere else in the store, and I see the same dude again. He's staring. So I'm like, man, you know, once, twice. I'm gonna give him a pass. We in Vegas, open carry state. I ain't finna, you know, go big on this nigga. I ain't got no pistol on me. This motherfucker shoot the shit out of me in this goddamn store. So I see this motherfucker again on a whole nother aisle. So I'm like, damn, my nigga, what the fuck? Why are you staring at me? And why are you staring at me? Said, nigga, you everywhere I'm at in this motherfucking store. Nigga, what the fuck is the problem? Man, I ain't got no problem. I said, you gonna fuck around and get beat up in this motherfucker? I ain't gonna get beat up. But I'm looking at this nigga and he really looking at me. I'm really looking at this nigga and he really looking at me. He bust out laughing, I bust out laughing. It's this nigga Tricky, who our first encounter was me punching him fucking 20 years ago. And it's this motherfucker. Oh shit, what the fuck going on, little nigga? He's still calling me little nigga, even though I'm way bigger than him at this time. We get the fucking chopping it up and shit, da-da-da-da. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Him and my brother still talk, they still cool. And shit, we start hanging out in Vegas a little bit. And that's crazy that my first time encountering him was that physical altercation, and me bumping into him 21 years later in a grocery store in a whole different state, and we finna have the same type of fucking encounter. But then nothing happened. He had been cool as shit, and he died some years after that. And I just recently found out that he had just passed. Talked to my brother and shit. But that was a good ass dude. Rest in peace to my nigga Tricky.